For this activity, you'll be using a three-step process to answer each word problem. You'll start out with a model, then move on to the equations, and then your solvent sentence. For example, in this case, you're comparing Emily and Lucas and how many donuts they ate. In this case, you'll want to use the text box button up in the upper left-hand corner to make a label for Emily's visual model and a text box for Lucas's. Once you've done that, then you'll use the shape tool, the rectangle tool in this case. If you hold down shift while you make it, you'll actually turn it into a square. If you let go of shift, it will become a rectangle. I typically like to use squares. In this case, it says Emily ate 2 donuts. So I'm going to align my text in the center. You don't absolutely have to do that, but something that makes it easier to look at. Emily has eaten 2 donuts, and then Lucas has had 4 times as many donuts. So I'm going to take Emily's and do that 4 times. Over here in the equation section, one way that I needed to calculate Lucas's donuts is I took Emily's, which is 2, I quadrupled or multiplied by 4 because it's 4 times as many, and that would give me Lucas's. Also, another step that is part of this problem is that I have to figure out how many they had all together. So in this case, I would have to add Emily plus Lucas to figure out how many they had all together. Or, if you don't want to use variables for the entire equation, you could simply plug in what you do know. In this case, 2 plus 8 equals however they had all together. Over here, we're going to solve for the variables. In this case, we know that L is equal to 8 for Lucas, and you can even say 8 donuts. And then for A, which is how many they had all together, that would be 10 donuts. Down here, for your sentence, you'd be typing in the answer to the question in a complete sentence. How many donuts did they eat all together? They ate 10 donuts all together.